Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning, and welcome to 2022, the new edition of Panhandle Outdoors. Same old set, but same old folks, but all kind of new stuff coming on. Hope all of y'all had a great Christmas vacation and did a lot of relaxing and enjoying things, and a lot of folks getting ready and getting back to the grind. So here we are, glad to be here and looking forward to a great 2022. And as always, we appreciate the loyal viewership. Looking at our weather brought to us by same folks, Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and his hardworking crew up there in Southport. He's working on heat right now because the low is high today, but actually only 61 and low of 40 to 48. So it's going to warm up just a little bit from the night before. But water temperature, this was mind-boggling to me. The water temperature is 70 degrees. That's 4 degrees warmer than it was this time last year, and that's a lot. Each degree in the water is a lot. So the fish are all confused. They don't know whether to go north or south or what. The river readings, take a look at that place called Bluntstown. We're looking at 10 foot, and that's pretty high. But it's been high for a lot during the break. It was high. Choctaw at Caryville, 7.5 and going up. The rain we've had recently, it'll be going up. So Choctaw is going to be a little cool on the river if you headed out that way. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. I do not have it with me this morning, so we'll skip over it. We'll try to get caught up on the tide as soon as we can. Also, I want to give a shout out to all the sponsors we had this past year. We just really appreciate everything they've done. We're going to get on the phone and we're going to call Sea Quarters Marina and to see what's going on down there. So check this out. We like to see what's going on, so we're going to just check them out and go ahead and Jeff, you ready back there? We okay? Our marine forecast coming east out of 7. East at 7. Let's see. She might be selling some crickets and worms. Captain Kim, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, look. I know y'all had a good year this past 2021 and getting into 2022. So, what all is going down there? You telling me you already sold some fish bait this year already?
Oh yeah. Sure enough, they're fishing ponds right now. It's a little bit rough offshore, but they've been catching some trout right up here in the bayou, kind of across from the marina here. A lot of little ones, but they have been catching some regulation size. And then the sheepshead are huge up the river quite a ways too. So I've been hearing reports on that. So we're doing okay.
Well, that's interesting about a sheephead getting on up in the river because that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's unusual. And 5-pounders, I mean, they're huge.
Whoa, that is big. And on the trout, they're catching them on what kind of bait they're using?
Mostly little spinners and grubs, for the most part. Mostly for, when it was cloudy, they were using a lot of the spoon and spinner action baits, but the frozen shrimp and chunk mullet work just as good, too. We got plenty of that.
Well, that sounds great. And in fact, I was thinking about y'all last night. I already put on my calendar the first weekend of August for the Sea Quarters Kingfish Shootout. So we'll be getting ready for that. Well, okay, we're going to be touching base with you off and on. Just keep us. And we got some pictures you sent us. We're going to show those pictures later. And we appreciate everything going on down there. Just keep us posted.
Good deal. Yeah, that's our dock man's grandson. He and Randall went out fishing a couple days ago and did real good.
That's some nice fish, and we'll be showing those. Well, thank you so much, Captain Kim.
You too. Have a good New Year now.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, folks, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We've got just a bunch of pictures, so we're just going to start off. We won't get them all in today, but we'll spread them out during the week of all kind of outdoor activities going on during the holidays, and we just we're glad y'all shared them with us. And I want to start 2022 off with what I consider a funny one. So we're just going to, someone has sent this, actually Bill Laminack. My son has been eating electrical cords. What do I do? And read that bottom line. Ground him until he conducts himself properly. Now, that's just a good way to start the year off. I know if you're watching early in the morning, it may not be that funny, but I cracked up when I saw that. Why do you care so much about taking a kid hunting? Or you can insert fishing. And on the bottom line, me, because I was once that kid and enjoyed going out with the folks. And saw this, they are always with you, and sort of a background scene there of either a grandpa or some family friend or someone taking you out to the woods and enjoying you. Always that presence. You can always feel that presence of people. I can. I don't know about you, but I understood where that picture was coming from. This is a good one. Michael Bugg sent this. We came across a little guy the other day. My daughter says she loves hunting because all the different animals we get to see. She gets really excited about deer, but she enjoys the whole experience. Ain't that what it's all about? And Merry Christmas, and please add my name to the pickle jar. Michael Buggs, and here's a picture. Check this out. She found a little box turtle, and she's getting a kick out of it. And that's what I mean, little things, the wonders of the outdoors. Okay. Powell Adams said this is a throwback to like 1978, 79, but I got a couple of these old pictures. And when I was a fairly young buck, I killed some pretty nice sandhill bucks. Now, this is what's interesting. This is up here, up off Highway 77 in South Washington and Northern Bay. There used to be some really big buck up there. And you'll see, that's Powell Adams on the right. He's originally from Bluntstown. The guy on the left worked for the Louisiana Fish and Wildlife, and they became friends. And he would come here and deer hunt with Powell, and Powell would go to Louisiana and duck hunt with him. So that's a good throwback picture. I love that old Jeep out there. All right, let's see. This is interesting. This is from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. Yesterday, Joseph Matthew McWhorter caught a nice once-in-a-lifetime fish on the Chattahoochee River near Columbus. The shoal bass will more than likely be the new state record. Corporal Eric Isom witnessed the weighing in of the live bass at 8 pounds, 5 ounces. Folks, that's huge for a shoal bass. It's on official scales. After weighing the fish, McWhorter released it back into the river near where it was caught. And that is cool right there. He had them in, he knew enough about fishing to keep them oxygenated and weighed them and got them back into the water. Good job. That's interesting. The Chattahoochee, this is Florida Board Adventures. Folks, I mean, a lot of redfish have been caught in Chattahoochee Bay during the winter. A lot and also here in San Andrew Bay, there's a lot of redfish caught. That is Florida Boys Adventures from Santa Rosa. Pat Barker, Pat grew up next to us over there in Southport. His family moved away, and he got grown. He played ball at Moses. He's grown, got a family of his own now. But I love to see him doing this. Thankful for the opportunity. River Place. This is a place up in Blakely, Georgia they hunt. I appreciate all the family, all the friends and family that make it possible to enjoy and share memories with. And that is a nice buck right there. Up there in southwest Georgia around Blakely. What did our buddy Billy Granson been up to? I can hear him saying this right now. Do you remember? I've done told you just the other day, be careful. And folks, that warm weather during Christmas break, they had a lot of snakes out. I didn't see any, but it's a miracle. I know I stepped over about probably 293, but I didn't see any. Thank you, Billy. And Billy sent a throwback. Back when a lot of people didn't have trucks, back in the day, just had to load them up and get her done. He just threw them on the back of the car. And I looked at the picture, I texted him back, I said, I know that's a Calhoun County car because the tag number, you just probably can't see it, is 58. And they used to, anyway, there used to be all the county tags were 1 through 67. And somehow, and I don't know why I did, I memorized all the counties in the state. I just wanted to do it because when a car came through town, I don't know where they were from. 23 was Bay County and 67 was Liberty County for the smallest county population-wise in the state. So anyway, and 58 was Calhoun County. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. You know, all your viewers are unique in your own different way, and I appreciate all of that. And one of those viewers, a guy named Dan Wells. I first talked to Dan. I was doing the show in the early years, and actually it wasn't early years, it wasn't that many, 5 or 6 years ago. And he was living around Teloja, and was a pastor there, Grace Methodist there in Hosford. and he would call me back and forth, and he loved watching the show. Had 2 little kids, he and his wife there. Well, I got to know him sort of a little bit over the phone. We talked, and he was working on his PhD at FSU in divinity, and I was really impressed with, and he was pastoring at the church there, Grace, and I thought that's a good setup, a little small town like that, and going over to a big college, and I just was impressed. I'll read his credentials. He's got a PhD from FSU. Okay, I'm gonna show his picture while I'm talking about him. He and his family. Here's the family right here. Okay, this is Dan Wells, the guy I'm talking about. He has his PhD. Listen, he has his master's from Asbury Theological Seminary. Asbury's on top of the line there. He's a senior researcher at Duke University. He now is a pastor now at Dresden United Methodist in Dresden, Ohio, and he watches the show every morning. Or he watches it maybe in the afternoon, anyway, up in Dresden, Ohio. And the county is called Muskingum County. And that's these 2 boys. I showed this coon hunt the other day, and they're tickled. Okay, but I'm going to read this. This is rather lengthy. I want to read it to you, but and because I'm going to show you the picture. What it is, it's about trapping beaver. This is significant to me because it's early American settlers when they trapped for food and also to sell the pelts and all. And so anyway, beaver pelts. So he's bringing this back, and this story, I didn't know this. I want to share it with you because I think you would appreciate it as an outdoors person. Okay, the beaver I trapped near the Muskingum River represents a whole lot of history. If you read on, it's a history I'll start to tell. I'll tell you the rest over a cup of coffee and some roasted beaver tail. Here in the state of Ohio, beaver was extirpated by 1830. This place, that's something now. They trapped them all since 1830. Take that to the bank, Jeremiah Johnson. The international fur trade and expanding boundaries of the American frontier nearly destroyed the once abundant population. Before Europeans arrived, there was an estimated 400 million beavers in North America. Centuries before, market hunters, Iroquois fur traders, and mountain men poured into the Ohio Valley in search of beaver. Images of beaver were found in artwork of the pre-Columbian culture. Later, Native Americans, including the Wakatomica, whose land this beaver was trapped on, and the village of Dresden is built upon, hunted beaver for meat, their large, their fatty tails, and for their pelts. When beaver became a commodity for the production of hats and perfume in Europe, fur companies stormed westward and consequently extended the American empire across the continent. You could say beavers are responsible for the expansion of the United States. Okay, after the beaver disappeared, this was cool. After the beaver disappeared in 1830, it was over 100 years before beaver were seen in Ohio again. In 1936, beaver were documented in Ashtabula County and began to recolonize the state. Since that time, the population of Ohio has grown to an estimated 27,000 in 2019. And so that's what's cool. And so anyway, he goes on, when I got my hands on the thing, I could almost feel the weight of history right here when he trapped one the other day. The weight of 35 pounds in this case. Watching Thomas run his fingers through his fur, Lincoln comment on how the beaver needed to brush his teeth, and Jackie hold back Boone from trying to get a taste. I felt a connection of those long ago who pursued meat and pelt for their family. I'm thankful for this animal, this land, this messy history, and the part I get to play in it. And I just think the way he worded it and all, he has a deep appreciation. And there's a trap and all, a trap there. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you the history of the beaver because it's a reflection of American expansion and the mountain men and the different Native American tribes were actually, selling it, capturing them and trapping them and selling them for their hides and all. So it was a great, and to actually, for them to come back and now they're protected to an extent. And I just thought we don't have many beaver down here, but they have got a lot of them up there. So to me, that really hit home as far as trying to preserve and take care of our culture. And it's amazing how they ended up after 100-something years, they still started, coming on back. So I appreciate that. And someone else I appreciate, the Buchanan family. You talked you saw me talk to Buck Buchanan doing an interview. Maybe some of y'all got to see it again during the Christmas holidays. We played it again. Well, his younger brother, Tim Buchanan, I was going to say younger, Tim Buchanan passed away on Christmas Day at the age of 98. And Mr. Buchanan, I call him Mr. Buck Buchanan's younger brother at 98. You don't get to see that phrase much anymore, but when your younger brother's 98, he passed away. His family, I just want to give a little tribute to him. The Buchanan family were pioneers of West Bay, and I have a deep appreciation for them, and we've talked about him before. And Mr. Buchanan started Miracle Paint in 1968, and I knew that well because I bought paint here in Panama City. He had a nice store, and I always trusted whatever they said on what good quality paint was over the years. And in fact, he's still, the Miracle Paint is still a business out there at the beach, I think. It still is a business at the beach. So the Buchanan family, I have a lot of respect for them. I want to pass on also the children and grandchildren, know a lot of them. And Mr. Tim Buchanan, age of 98, and there's a picture of him right there. Okay, he loved to fish. I don't know if anybody he was born and raised in West Bay, and I wanted to share that with you. I don't know anybody who came from West Bay that didn't love to hunt and fish. All those pioneer families, because they did it, sort of like the folks up in Ohio were doing it for their family to eat and just enjoy life. Also, anyway, just want to share that with you. Also, later on this week, we're going to give a little tribute to Warville Raffield, who passed away recently. So we appreciate these pioneer families and part of our heritage here in the Panhandle. All right, let's take our final break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. I was there during the holidays, and man, they've had a booming year. They just sold a lot of good stuff, and I just enjoy walking in there, visiting with them, and seeing all the things going on, hunting, fishing, and clothing, and shoes, and everything. So they've been good to us, and we appreciate them. Let me pass this on to you. I've got the term. Heard this term from one of the people down there. While I was in Blue Water, people come in and out, and a lot of people watch the show. I talked to them, and we were talking about how this area is growing. He said, "Coach, we're going to change the name from Port St. Joe to Port St. Destin." I said, "Oh no, don't do that," because it's talking about it's just packing in down there. So y'all try to save as much of nature as you can. Okay, we'll talk about more about that later. But anyway, good things going on down there in that area. Hopefully they can control the height growth. Let me move on. Our time's 12:23 to 2:23 this morning, and this afternoon 12:53 to 2:53. I had a couple of more pictures. I'm not going to. Let's see. We got. We'll talk about what a great year of duck hunting we've had, and I've showed Elizabeth's picture time and time again at Apalachicola Bay, because here's a pretty girl and a pretty dog and loving to hunt, and the best way to ring in the new year is actually getting some ringnecks. All right, Elizabeth. All right, and now Ashley Copeland with Chad and Brianna Copeland up there on the Big River up there. That's a good picture, Chad. I like that. Catfishing up there. Look at there. That's some good eating, folks. That size catfish right there is good. And I love a little shirt there, Liberty County. Kyle Pridgeon, the first fish of 2022. Always mark it down when you catch your first fish, or shoot your first buck of 2022. That's special. Kyle Pridgeon is a fine fisherman. And of course, Tess Randall Jolly, heading into 2022 with this abundant faith and no fear. Check the quality of this picture. Hope it shows up with the clarity on your TV screen as it does here in a picture. What a beautiful picture. What a great timing. That's something to frame almost. How about one more funny one? Car repairs. Your car has been keyed. The good news is that the damage appears to be minor. Okay, you musicians can appreciate that. The final picture. This is my sunrise out on Christmas Day morning as the sun rose up. I'm an early riser, and I just was lucky. It was just a beautiful, what a beautiful day it was to get started, and it's just so wonderful having. That's a Winston Chester photography. I'm going to send one to test around on Jolly and show her some of my photography. She'll get a kick out of it, I'm sure. But it was a great break. I talked to a lot of folks who enjoyed it, had some good quality family time, and we enjoyed it. We didn't get to see them quite as much as as long as we wanted to, but we certainly got to visit with them, and they got to spend some quality time winding down. And like I said earlier, at the beginning of the show, we all had our situations where we got that rest, and we got. I just talked to a lot of different folks, and they were just glad to catch a breath and glad to get 2021 behind us. There was a lot of challenges we all faced in 2021, and as we go into 2022, as I go into each year, I said this is going to be my best year ever, and I just always feel that way. I'm excited about the things we can get that we're going to do and we're going to get done. And I have a list of resolutions and a list of things that we're planning for the show, and I'm going to run out of time, so I don't really want to get into them. So I'll just tell you that one of the things that we want to do is just continue to show the same caliber and level we are, and then we just want to improve it a little bit at a time. And it's just I hear so many testimonials from you folks, and it means a lot to us and Jeff, and Gail, and we appreciate it. One of the things I was going to mention doing about in this time of year, we're all in the woods and all looking at all kinds of deer sign. I've really done a lot of walking in the woods during Christmas break, and the weather was just too warm, and it was. But now with this little cold snap, the deer are starting to really move around. But I was talking about how the wind affected the deer, and with the cameras we have now, you can just get really almost do a scientific study. When that wind blows really hard, like we had the past week and all, just blowing solid for 4 or 5 days. All game animals, game or non-game animals, they sort of hunker down, and you can see by the camera. You say you got a camera, you've been seeing deer all the time, then all this weather comes in and you don't see nothing. So that you can do all kinds of studies with cameras. I know a lot of universities do that, and it's really, but we can do it on our own scale and all. But anyway, tomorrow we've got all kinds of stuff to cover tomorrow, including our New Year's resolutions. If you have some resolutions you want to share with us, send them in. We'll read them on the air. It'll be interesting. Y'all have a great day today. Glad to be back. Let's really look forward to 2022. Do some good stuff with fellow men, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.